Okay, guys, I'm here for episode 15 of Smacking the Roster Down. My retrospective of the SmackDown video game series, which is now the WWE 2K series. Uh, this is episode 15, where we look. Now, it is predominantly a retrospective of the rosters, but there are some review elements into play. Uh, Today's episode is WWE 2K14, the first official one released from 2K. This was a very interesting game and a very interesting roster to say the least. So here is the W2K14 roster. It was released on October the 29th, 2013 for the PS3 and the 360 and the Xbox 360. The roster was as followed: AJ Lee, Oksana, making her first and only appearance in a WWE video game; Alberto Del Rio, Andre the Giant, Antonio Cesaro, Batista, Big E Langston, back when he had Langston, making his debut in the series; Big John Studd, making his only appearance in the series; Big Show, the Retro Big Show; Bret the Hitman Hart, Brie Bella, who was DLC; Brock Lesnar, the Retro Brock Lesnar; Brodus Clay, Bruno Sammartino, who was DLC and was making his only appearance in a WWE video game; Chris Jericho, the Retro Chris Jericho; Christian, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Damian Sandow, Daniel Bryan, Darren Young making his debut in the series; David Otunga making his final appearance in the series; Dean Ambrose making his debut in the series; Diesel, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Dusty Rhodes, who was DLC. This would be Drew McIntyre's final appearance until 2K18. Eddie Guerrero, Edge, Fandango, who was DLC, making his debut in the series; Goldberg, Heath Slater, Hollywood Hogan, Hulk Hogan, Jack Swagger, Jake the Snake Roberts, he was DLC; JBL, Jinder Mahal, making his final appearance until 2K18; John Cena, the Retro John Cena; Justin Gabriel, Caitlyn, making her only appearance in the WWE video game series; Kane, Retro Kane; Kevin Nash, NWO; Kevin Nash Outsiders, so there were actually 3 Kevin Nashes, counting Diesel; King Kong Bundy, making his only appearance in the series; Kofi Kingston, Layla, Lita, Mark Henry, Mick Foley, marking the final time it was Mick Foley as himself in a game; Mr. McMahon, Kurt Henning, who was DLC; Natalia, Nikki Bella, R-Truth, Randy Orton, Macho Man Randy Savage NWO, who was DLC; Razor Ramon, who was making his debut in the series; Rey Mysterio, Ric Flair, the Retro Ric Flair, Roushing Rick Rude, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Roman Reigns making his series debut, Ryback, Santino Marella, Scott Hall NWO, and Scott Hall Outsiders. Scott Hall also making his first appearance in the series, as he was a different character than Razor Ramon. Scott Steiner making his most recent appearance, his first appearance in SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, he was DLC. Seth Rollins making his debut in the series. Sergeant Slaughter, Shawn Michaels, the Retro Shawn Michaels, Sheamus, Sin Cara, Stephanie McMahon, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Summer Rae making his debut in the series, Syxx, who is a different character than X-Pac, he was DLC, Tensai, $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, The Giant, so there were actually 3 big shows, Giant, entirely different character, DLC, The Miz, The Rock, Retro Rock, Titus O'Neil, Triple H, Retro Triple H, Ultimate Warrior making his debut in the series. He would become a mainstay since he entered the WWE Hall of Fame. Undertaker, ABA, the Retro Undertaker, so there were 3 takers. Virgil, who was DLC, making his only appearance in the series, and being that he was free DLC, he didn't even get a royalty check. Wade Barrett, Yokozuna making his series debut, and Zack Ryder. That was the roster. It was 103 wrestlers. Although Unique People, it's less than that, but technically it's 103 with the DLC. It was an okay roster. I do think the one in WWE 13 was actually better, but this was an okay roster. The main mode, of course, was the 30 Years of WrestleMania mode, which spanned the 4 eras of the WWE. The Hogan era, the New Generation era, the Attitude era, the Ruthless Aggression era, and, of course, the Universe era. So, it was a interesting thing. They didn't really change Universe much. And everything else was there, that was there in a previous year. So, when that is episode 15 of Smacking the Roster Down, I'll be back tomorrow of episode 16, which deals with WWE 2K14. The penultimate episode of the series, because the last one will be Thursday when I upload 2K16's Smacking the Roster Down, when I look at that roster. I may later put 2K17 and 18 on here, but that probably won't be till next year. So if you like this video, this will be in the Smacking the Roster Down playlist. If you like the video, like button down there, subscribe button down there, and thank you for watching. Bye.